Galactic acid, what's your sign? Listen up for the cosmic line. Star sign shenanigans, they're on a roll. You'll be laughing and learning, feeling the zodiac glow.
Okay. All right, welcome to another episode of Star Sign Shenanigans. So we're going to start off with our Scorpio horoscope not this week, today. I can never just get through this like normally. I always have to mess it up. So we'll see if I can read it without messing it up. Any work today could require a higher level of concentration than you can muster, Scorpio. You might lapse into daydreams, think about personal matters, and feel guilty because you aren't doing what you're supposed to be doing. On days like this, it's best to focus on routine tasks you can do automatically. That way, your mind can wander. That's the only way you'll make it through today.
Well, I wish I would have heard that at 8 a.m. this morning. I have been so busy today, and I literally have had bouts of my day when I'm staring at my screen. And I'm like, oh my God, I have so much stuff to do. And I've just stared at my screen for the last 5 minutes, which is a long time in my job. 5 minutes is like 5 tasks.
Yeah. I don't know if it relates to me today or not. Today's been felt like a complete blur. I don't know. My mental state today hasn't been great. It's just I'm ready for the long weekend. I've been making that joke a lot, because I have Friday and Monday off, and so I'm I think we're all just done. And it was funny actually at the end of today, we were all on a call, a good portion of us, and we were all just and then someone pops in halfway through, and he's chipper and alert, and he's trying to tell us to add people to the meeting, or why isn't this person here? And we're just all deer in the headlights, and we're at least we're all on the same page today, that we were checked out.
That we had a meeting at 4:30 today, and everybody on the meeting was like that as well, but it was also a meeting at 4:30, so I mean, how productive can that be?
Yeah, it's too late.
Yeah,
that is too late. I think before 9, after 4, no. That's my rule of thumb.
Yep.
So we're going to do a little pop culture update, and then we also have a little Q&A, not a Q&A, but just some fun questions that we want to answer. I feel these are always really fun episodes to just kind of I think it makes you think a little bit, and I just feel they're relatable. So we'll start with the pop culture updates. So probably just touch on a couple things, and then I want to talk about Sabrina Carpenter's new album. Justin Bieber had his baby with Haley, and little Jack Blues Bieber.
Jack Blues Bieber.
I have to say, I love that the kid's name is Jack, and is such a normal, completely normal name, because all these celebrities name their kids the weirdest things. And I love that it's just a very common name. Actually, Jack's as common as it comes,
I agree, and I feel there's another celebrity that named their baby Jack recently. I wish I could remember, but I feel there's another celebrity who just named their baby Jack, and it's cute. Am I a little underwhelmed by the name? Yes, but that's solely because I fell into this TikTok conspiracy that it's a girl, and that they're gonna name it Plum Bieber because
I saw
the
that.
name because the name, the username Plum was taken and all this, and I just got my hopes up that it was gonna be a girl named Plum Bieber. I don't know why, but I think a boy is cute. I think a little Justin Bieber running around is just going to be great to see. But I don't know. We'll see if they'll be the kind of parents who show their kids on social media or not. I mean, we got a name, so I feel that's something. I feel a lot of celebrities and influencers aren't even sharing the names of their kids. So
maybe they feel if they're more open about it, because they've just had so much hate around their relationship, and the Selena thing never dies, and maybe if they just feel they're just kind of transparent and honest, I don't know, maybe they feel it will go over better than trying to hide it away,
Right.
But I will say, when he first posted it, I saw it literally, and I'm not kidding, it was posted for 2 minutes, and already had an insane amount of likes. Then I got back on there, and it wasn't on there, and he deleted it. And then I got back on there again and it was reposted. I got back. He literally deleted it like 3 or 4 times. And I know he did because he shared it to Threads. So I went to Threads and it was posted like 4 times. I'm like, Justin, why are you being weird, like posting and deleting this right now? Just like it reminded me of something like we would do. It's just like he's doing it with his baby's photo.
I saw that and I was like, nothing was different when it was
No.
reposted. So it's like, what was the reason?
And I was like, maybe unless Instagram had an issue or something, because I'm like, it really doesn't make sense. Maybe he's like, should we? No, should we? It's like, at this point, everybody's seen it. Like, people have screenshotted it. It's all
Oh,
over
yeah.
Twitter. When you're famous, it's a little different.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was really funny. I was like, I wonder if anyone else caught that. Because I was on like, because I couldn't believe how many likes it was getting so fast. It had like literally like 600,000 likes. It had been posted for like 7 minutes or less. And I was like, dang.
It's probably because girls were like, "Oh my God, let me send this to every one of my contacts." Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber had their baby. Yeah. And I think it's Virgo right now. I think it's Virgo. I feel like it's Virgo season. I could be wrong.
I know it's definitely sometime in September, so it may have just started. Oh, another Virgo.
I know. I think it's Virgo. So we're gonna go with that. If not, all these
It's right on
expert
the
astrologists,
edge.
let us know in the comments if we're wrong.
What are we in right now? I only care about Scorpio season personally.
Literally.
Other thing, and I don't know that I even want to like talk about it too long because I feel like it's like I went down so many rabbit holes about Blake Lively. But I will say it was so funny. I was at Target like a week or so ago, and I was just like walking down the aisle, and I just hear a girl talking to like another girl, and I love Blake Lively, but and I was like, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. And here's the thing. It's tough because I actually know Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds way more than that other guy, but something about the situation has given me the ick against her, and I don't want to be like, maybe it's like because we're trying to pit women against one another. I don't want to be involved in that either. It's kind of like the same thing. It's like Jennifer Lopez train. Now we need to hate on Blake Lively. But like something about her, and I think I've seen a lot of people like on TikTok, like maybe, I think she just makes jokes. It has a humor that doesn't jive with people more than maybe she's like a bad person.
Maybe.
And then, what else? I think it's just that, like, I've seen this a lot. I've talked about this, I don't know with you, but definitely one of my other friends, and I'm seeing it a lot more too, is that people are just kind of like over celebrity culture in general. That's why, like, the Kardashians aren't doing as well. It's like, we don't want to see you being rich and famous when everyone out here is struggling to work and make ends meet. I don't know if that's part of it, but, like, I think people are just over celebrity. So I think I saw something too where they're like, because her husband's movie, Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, came out. She was like trying to make it like a Barbieheimer situation. Like, this is two very different things. This is about domestic violence, and you're like, where are your florals and my skincare? And it almost just feels like she's out of touch and she's not relatable because she's not relatable anymore. And I feel like this behavior 10 years ago would have done well, and now it just doesn't.
I think that's 1000% the thing. I think that the movie was such like a sensitive topic, and just the way that she was acting was just so out of touch. And it's like, okay, like you're promoting a domestic violence movie and then trying to promote your husband's movie at the same time. And like your products. And then the main thing that I was seeing was the interview that she did with I don't even know, like some other person, maybe somebody else that was in the movie, and the interviewer was like, "Congrats on the bump," and like, did you see that? Yeah, that's the main thing that I've seen, and I did think that was weird. It was
that
very
interview's from like
Mean
7
Girl.
years ago. That interview's really old, and it's just now coming out. And the girl was like, it made me uncomfortable because then her and the other girl just start talking and leaving the interviewer out, and they're like, yeah, his wardrobe looks really nice. Why don't they ever ask men about their wardrobe? It was like so
Mean Girl energy.
Yeah, it was Mean Girl energy.
It was not the vibe, and it does make me see her in a different light, but at the same time, I wasn't like a huge fan in the first place. Like, I like Gossip Girl, and I think Ryan Reynolds is funny, but it's like I'm not a big like Blake Lively fan, so seeing it does not surprise me at all. Like, she's a celebrity, she's gonna be out of touch, she's gonna say things like that, but I guess it's good that people are like kind of calling her out on it, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation.
Well, there was like another one I saw a clip where like she's signing autographs and she like picked up someone's pen and then put it back down and she's like, "That's this color. You know, I don't use that color." And I'm like, to her fan,
I did not see that.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm like, that's a real thing. That's really embarrassing for her. And then also there's just been like some controversy because apparently like she like helped produce it. Ryan Reynolds got involved, wrote a scene when the Justin, whatever his name is, guy, like bought the rights to this movie in 2019, was directing it as well as starring in it. And like basically they went with her cut of the movie. And like that rubbed people a lot the wrong way. Like he was the director of the movie. Why did you go with Blake Lively's cut? Why is her husband writing scenes for the movie? Like, it just like seemed like it was like overstepping some boundaries of what's normal.
Was that the This Ends With Us movie?
Yeah. The movie that's out right now that is like about the domestic violence or
right.
But the guy who's the main star also directed it, and there's drama between them two because nobody knows why, but they all unfollowed him. They're not doing interviews together. That's kind of what started all this, is because they're like, what's going on between there? And apparently there's issues on there's rumors about like why they don't get along, but it's just the whole thing is weird, and I think that it like maybe did more damage than good to Blake Lively's career, unfortunately. But maybe not. I guess it's still attention, but.
Yeah, that's true. Any publicity is good publicity. Is that the saying?
Yeah, I guess so.
But I mean, I feel like in cancel culture these days, maybe that's not the case anymore.
And that's kind of the thing too. But it's like, that's why I also saw someone's like, are we just always tearing women down because Jennifer Lopez has had like this fall? Like, I'm like, that's where it's hard to separate. It's like, are we just trying to tear someone down, or is it like, do they actually just kind of suck? And I've always heard things about Jennifer Lopez too, so it's kind of like,
yeah, I feel like
approaching.
I feel like it's just the case where she just like kind of maybe sucks a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh God, the wrong people get famous. Like, why aren't we famous? We're the right people to be famous. We don't say mean things.
I was thinking about, I would not want to be famous because they'd probably find a tweet I put in like 2010 when I was quite literally 15 years old, and it probably is completely offensive. And if I was famous, I'd be like, yeah, I'm sorry, when I was 15 years old, I'm not even that person anymore. I said this during a time where that's what people did.
I don't think you can find any sort of dirt on me because I had a Facebook in middle school. I completely deleted it from the face of this earth before I was in high school, I think. And I've tried to even find it because I know I posted some stupid, ridiculous shit and I can't even find it. So I'm like, okay. And I didn't really have a Twitter until high school and I really didn't post much. So I'm like, honestly, I think I'd be pretty good. I think if anybody tried to find some dirt on me, I don't think they'd be able to. I think the most controversial thing I tweeted was like, free Kodak Black. Like, I think that's it.
They'd be able to find stuff on me. I've had my Facebook since 2007. Over half my life.
Crazy.
I had things pop up in my memories. It's like 16 years ago today, and I'm like, oh my God, my Facebook can drive a car. Like, it's weird to think about.
It's also probably easier to find dirt as well because social media just used to be a platform where you literally just said anything that was on your mind.
No, it's so true.
Let me just have a conversation.
Things will pop up in my memories where my cousin like wrote on my wall, "Did you see James did this at school today?" I was friends with James on Facebook. Like, James probably said to write that on my wall, but it was like normalized back then. I wish we should troll. We should do some trolling. Like, I write on your wall. I feel like something about somebody else for friends.
Wait, what was one big thing that everybody would do would like be the rate me or something, or the like this
Truth
and all.
is,
Yeah, like this and all.
I never did that.
Like, yeah, I never did it either.
I never did stuff like that.
But that was a big thing in
I
middle
posted
school.
stuff and did cringe things. Like, I shared a thing the other day. It was from like right before I went to my senior year. I'm like, I'm going into my senior year in 1 week. Wow, it feels like I was in 7th grade. It was like 12 years ago. Now I'm like, wow, if only Danielle knew back then how fast life really goes.
Yeah.
And my friend's husband comments this picture that he's like uses against me sometimes on my Facebook from 2008. And I have like all this like white makeup on my face with like black around my eyes, and it's
I
because
feel
of a
like
weird.
I've seen this.
I have, because it was like a weird thing we did at school. This is a sidebar. This cannot be normal. It's one of those things you look back, you're like, why did my school do this? And who in their right mind thought this was like cool to do? Like, we had like drug-free week or whatever they would do. And they would always do scary things to freak you out. Like, don't ever drink. You'll, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And they thought it was a good idea. Randomly throughout the day, they would like have some story on the intercom and they would just call random kids. And I was one of those random kids that day. And they would do it throughout the day. They pull you aside. They put this makeup on your face. They did it like, I think 2 different times. One time, I think you just like went into a room and were there the rest of the day, so you weren't with your classmates. But they sent me back to class and we were just not supposed to talk to the people that looked like that. And we had to pretend like they were dead because of like drunk driving accidents and stuff. So I'm just like sitting in class with this makeup on my face because I was like in a drunk driving accident. Like, is that normal? I feel like it's weird for a school to do.
I have heard stories of people's schools doing crazy stuff like that. Mine never did. Like the extent to crazy that they did was like bring a wrecked car to the school parking lot, but we never did anything like that. I feel like that's
Yeah.
like crossing a boundary. Like, did
That's
that make you,
scary.
yeah, did that make you feel like, oh my God, like I need to not drink because like this makes me feel dead, like nobody's talking to me. Like, did that even make you
I
feel that
know.
way?
All I did is I got a picture of it, and now my friend's husband posted on my post 16
Blackmail,
years later. I was just
right?
like, I said punk never died or something was my response back. But I was like, I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, that was kind of a weird thing.
That is
I
very
was in
weird.
8th grade.
I feel like I saw Tanner and I have been into Kill Tony lately. If you have never watched that, you should. It's really funny. But it's like they pull names out of a bucket and people come up and do like stand-up comedy for a minute. And
Okay.
one kid came up and he was talking about how when he was in high school, he got chosen, like they would do scooter drills. Maybe this was on TikTok and not on this Kill Tony episode, but I think it was Kill Tony. I don't remember. But he was chosen to be the school, gave him a literal and and said don't point it at anybody, just point it at the ground and go into this auditorium full of like little kids and be a and he did.
Awful.
I'm like, that's
Oh my
insane.
gosh. It's just, it's like, where are we at as a society? I guess it's always been kind
Yeah.
of crazy, but so weird. We are
Yeah.
all messed up for sure.
Anywho, that was a major sidebar.
I had Katy Perry downfall. I don't really want to talk about that too much. It kind of reminds me of Blake Lively, where she's just like releasing music that I think 100% if she released in 2013, 10 years ago, it would be #1 on the charts. But I think music's changed. She's not changing with it, and she's singing these like very generic pop songs that are boring. It makes me sad because I actually like listened to Katy Perry in high school, and she has some like good songs. I feel like she could make it work with today, but it's like she's like stuck in like this formula she's used to doing from like 10 years ago, and it's just, and I think it just goes to show she's like Blake Lively, a little out of touch. They're like still in this mindset from like when they were at their like top of careers like 10 years ago, and like people are not in that same place 10 years later. So I just added that as well. But
I haven't heard any of her songs. Is it like she's singing Firework but revamped with different words? Like, is it that vibe?
let me read you the lyrics, and the way that I'm reading them is probably just not too far off from the way she's singing it. It's called Woman's World.
Okay.
By Katy Perry. Katy Perry lyrics. She goes, sexy, confident, so intelligent.
No.
She is heaven sent, so soft, so strong. Like, that's the vibe of it. And then the chorus is like, it's a woman's world and you're lucky to be living in it. That singer. But like, it's
Lord.
the stupidest, boringest, like, just lame. It literally like got to, like, it went to like number 49 and then just dropped off the charts. Like embarrassingly bad. Embarrassingly bad.
I'm gonna have to listen to it after this
Yeah.
just for a good laugh.
Literally, you can listen to 15 seconds and it's like you don't need to, like, I've never listened to it in its entirety because it's so bad. Like, it's so bad.
It's
Um,
hilarious.
the main thing I want to talk about, though, is Sabrina Carpenter's new album, Sabrini Weenie Carpentini. So
Sabrina.
there's this guy I watch, and that's what he calls her, and it's so funny. But I want to give a little background here because I was like in Texas a couple months ago with my friends, and Espresso was like the really big song at the time, and maybe the Please Please thing had just came out, and they were like just kind of like, it's kind of annoying, like she's just everywhere, and I'm like, I'm so happy for her because I have truly been listening to Sabrina Carpenter since like 2015, 2016. Like I went back and looked at my top 100 songs of 2016, 2017, 2018, and she has songs in each. Like I've been listening to her for that long. And it probably feels overnight to a lot of people. And like she's brand new because like TikTok culture, that kind of can happen. But like she has been doing this for like, I mean, she's been acting and singing for a lot like longer, but actively trying to have a singing career for like 10 or 11 years. So this is like so well deserved, in my opinion, her success. And she, to put into perspective, on Friday, she released her album and another single called Taste in the music video to Taste. So the music video is called Taste. It has Jenna Ortega in it from Wednesday. And it's like so violent. It's like so violent because they're like referent, but it's like funny, but it's like, it's a little like, it has like a trigger warning in the beginning. Like there's violent situations.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like referencing like kind of like cult classic movies, like from like the 80s and 90s and stuff. But in it, you just have to like listen to it and watch it. But in the first day, it had like 7 million views. No, I think in the first day it had like 7 million views, which is quite a lot for YouTube. And I looked a couple days ago and it's at like 28 million views. It's probably over that now, which is a lot. Because, for example, not to like pin girls against one another, but a couple months ago, Ariana Grande released the Boy Is Mine video with Penn Badgley. It has 28 million views right now, and it came out months ago. And Sabrina has surpassed that in less than a week, in like 4 or 5 days.
Crazy.
Just to kind of put that into perspective, which granted, Jenna Ortega's in it, but Sabrina's just kind of like the hot new thing. Espresso, Please, Please, Please were obviously like really
huge,
big bangers. And so it's like, will her album live up to the hype? Has lived up to the hype. It's so good. Like every single song is good. There's only like 1 or 2 that I would like maybe not actively listen to, but they're not even like bad in and of themselves. But it's called, the album's called Short and Sweet because she's short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
She references that. And it's a shorter album. There's not like a ton of songs on it. But I have a handful of screenshots here from just various songs, and they're just like her more out of pocket stuff. Now that we're talking about it, you're going to start getting TikToks.
I probably am.
And there's some songs I'm not referencing. There's probably some lines I'm not referencing, but I just wanted to like kind of, just so you can have an idea of just like, they call it, like she even posted the other day because everyone's calling it an ovulation album because she is horned up in this album.
God.
It is so funny.
Wait, is this like, she's broken up with her boyfriend, right? Like her and Barry are done.
They're like off and on apparently, but one of the songs is called Bed Kim and it's about him. We'll talk about it. But anyway, I literally saw a TikTok today where he like, cause like the Bratz account posted like her and Jenna Ortega from the video as like Bratz dolls or something. And he commented like, can I have one? So everyone's like, maybe they're back on. Like, I don't know their situation, but I guess I watched a video of people reacting to the album and I didn't see this interview clip, but people said that like she was asked about him and she's just like, we're just having fun, hanging out. We'll see, which I respect because that's how people are these days. And celebrities are absolutely allowed to be that too. They just do it in front of, the public eye. So it's just a little different, but I'll just go through. I have some various screenshots. So the opener of the album is called Taste. That's the one that the video came out with. And it is such a strong single. Like I'm surprised she didn't release this one already. Like instead of Please, 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 because this is just like a really good one. So you need to like
that
go
good.
I think so. You need to go.
Holy moly!
I need to send you my few really favorites from the album. Like I could even play like a little snippet of it. But anyway, okay. I think this one. Oh, is this one Taste? Yes, this one's from Taste. And okay, so a lot of the songs are about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. I don't know if you've heard this. because whenever Sean and her have been together off and on for years. Camilla, like she's from Fifth Harmony.
Yeah.
So they've got like their own toxic situation going on and have for years. But anyway, they were broken up like last year, and him and Sabrina were hanging out a lot.
Okay.
And then randomly he's at Coachella with Camila Cabello again, like making out and whatever. And so Camilla just had an album come out like a month or so ago, and there's a song on it called June Bloom, and she sings lyrics like, if you really, I've seen the pictures of you and her, like if you really like her while you're on the side of town, this is important because like Sabrina has some lyrics that kind of reference that. I don't know if I have it screenshotted. I just did the more out of pocket stuff, but there just seems like there's a story there. So maybe you'll get some TikToks now where you can go down this like rabbit hole.
I'm gonna have to search it after this. Yeah,
it's
I'm gonna have to
my,
search.
It is literally all my TikTok is, and it's like the only album I've been listening to because I just love it so much. But anyway, this is a lyric from the song Taste, the single that just came out. He pins you down on the carpet, makes paintings with his tongue. It's a little,
Okay.
He's funny now. All his jokes hit different. Guess where he learned that from? And the chorus says, I heard you're back together, and if that's true, you'll just have to taste me when he's kissing you. But it's so good. It's like so like Bob. There's only like a couple slower songs. A lot of them are really, poppy.
Yeah.
This one though is slower. It's called Sharpest Tool. It says, this is how it opens. I know you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. We had sex. I met your best friends. Then a bird flies by and you forget. I don't hear a word till your guilt creeps in. On a Tuesday, send a soft hey as you really don't recall the time. Basically saying like, we were going right. You took a left. You left me with a lot of shit to second guess. Guess I'll waste another year on wondering if that was casual. Then I'm an idiot. Like you're blurring the lines type of deal. But just like the fact she's like opened it up with like, we had sex, I met your best friend, and now you're like, what?
So when you say that this is about like Shawn Mendes, like
most people think that it is based off the way the lyrics are and knowing the situation, and then like what Camilla has like written. Like people put the pieces together. If you type in Sabrina Carpenter, Shawn Mendes, I bet articles will pop up about it.
Okay, so Sabrina Carpenter and Shawn Mendes had a little thing, and then he went back to
because she even has like lyrics, and I just like tried to screenshot the more like out of pocket, like kind of like jaw dropping things she said. But like if you like really look at some of the lyrics, like she references like kind of like you went back to your ex.
For some reason, when you said that it was about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello, however the fuck you say her name, I thought you were saying like Sabrina Carpenter wrote those songs about these two. So I was thinking like
it's like
okay,
her situation. Like she put them on blast. Really hit more.
Okay, that I'm there. I'm there.
And then this is she has a song called Coincidence, and it says, the second I put my head on your chest, she knew she got a real sixth sense. Now her name comes up once and it comes up twice, and without her even being here, she's back in your life. Now she's in the same damn city on the same damn night. And Camila Cabello has like that song where she's like, if you really like her or something, like, then why are you here on this side of town? Like, it's just like very like these are about one another. This one though, this is like every reaction video I've seen to this line, everyone's like, she goes,
I'm scared.
She goes, what a surprise, your phone just died. Your car drove itself from LA to her thighs. I love it. Oh. I love the blunt, like, just like, I love when songwriters are just like brutally honest like this.
I know.
Like, it's so much more colorful. It's so much more relatable. It's like, and she's very like tongue in cheek the way she writes and stuff, and people just love it. And it's so smart.
Yeah.
Because then she put, damn it, it kind of looks like the girl you outgrew. At least that's what you said. Like he said, like, oh, I outgrew her, and then he's back with her, of course.
Yeah.
So this is Bad Kim. You really just need to listen to this one. But the chorus says, I bet we'd have really good Bad Kim. How you pick me up, pull him down, turn me around. Oh, it just makes sense. How you talk so sweet when you're doing bad things. That's Bad Kim. And this is like another one where people are like, she goes, come right on me. I mean, camaraderie. Yeah, come right on me. I mean, camaraderie. Said you're not in my time zone, but you want to be. And then she goes, but the way she sings this is funny. It's why you need to listen to it. She goes, where art thou? Why not uponeth me? Like how Shakespearean. I just love her. This is the one that's about Barry. Because she has this part where she's like, talks about, oh, you're like in the white. I'll play part of this one next because it's just good. And then she goes, I bet we'd both arrive at the same time. I bet the thermostat's set at 6'9", and I bet it's even better than in my head. But this is the one people really like, I would say.
This is reminding me of her Christmas song that you showed me.
Yes,
that was like
nonsense
so
one.
raunchy.
Yes, she's raunchy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everyone's like, she's so horny all the time. She has a lyric I'll get to where she says, I'm horny, like literally verbatim. But so Nonsense was her most sexual song she ever had. And really it was just the last part when she's like, let me take your clothes off, pop quiz. I think people react to that. So she went full on sexual on this album. So it's kind of funny if you're into it. She has a song called Slim Pickens. This is the one I listen to the least. It's got like a very much a country twang vibe. But the ending, I actually just love the lyrics to the ending. She goes, since the good ones call their exes wasted, and since the Lord forgot my gay awakening, then I'll just be here in the kitchen serving up some moaning and bitching.
Oh my
I love that. I don't really care
like
for the song that much, but I love the lyrics in it a lot.
Yeah, I like that one.
So this one's called Juno. This is probably one of my favorites. Like, it's probably in my top 3. It like grows on me the more I listen to it. And you know the movie Juno?
Yeah.
That came out. So this is like what that's kind of implying. Like she's like saying, I want you to like make me Juno, like knock me up essentially.
Oh my God.
So she says in here like, let's see here. Oh yeah. She goes, I know you want my touch for life. If you love me right, then who knows? I might let you make me Juno. She goes, one of me is cute, but 2 though. Give it to me, baby. And then she's like, the rest of it's kind of fun. And then this is the part. She goes, adore me, hold me and explore me, mark your territory, tell me I'm the only one, adore me, hold me and explore me. I'm so fucking horny. Tell me I'm the only one.
Jesus.
I love it though. I just love it. A girl who's comfortable in her sexuality.
Right? I'm gonna have to listen to these now. I'm surprised I haven't heard them yet because I've been listening to like the top hits. So I'm surprised I haven't heard them yet.
I'm surprised. So that's another thing. So to get to that point. So to put into perspective, on Monday, I think it was Monday. So her album had only been out a couple days. Spotify released like the first like couple days, like the charts. Every single one of her songs charted. They each had like 6 or 7 million views. Altogether, she had streamed 50 million times, which to put into perspective was more than her other 4 and 5 albums combined. And she did that
crazy.
all in just a couple days. And like Spotify posted something and she just like, is just dominating like all the charts. Like she'll be number 1, which is great. I love it. But, she posted today, I follow on Instagram, and like Kylie Jenner's like posting songs till I think Bed Kim. Like a lot of people are doing the Bed Kim and the Juno because they're like, just people really like them. Yeah. So I'll play a little bit of a couple. So this is from Taste. I mean, not Taste. This is Taste, the single. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Her vocals are really good. It's just so boppy. You cannot help but like it.
It is.
And that's the thing is like she could have like really just had like a terrible rest of her album, but all of her songs could be singles. Like it's hard to pick like what her next one should be. And then I'll play a little bit of the Bed Kim. Got like 80s kind of sounding vibe. It's just funny to think this is about the guy from Saltburn.
I like this one.
Yeah, it's good. I left that part out too. I should have.
What is it?
She said, manifest that you're oversized.
Okay. We love a girl who manifests.
Exactly. So this is the part a lot of people like that I didn't say because I'm like, I feel like you just have to hear it. A lot of people like that part. So that's Bed Kim. So it's like one thing for me to like read these two, but that's why I'm like, I feel like you need to like listen to them because the way she says and delivers. Oh, yo, you need to listen to this next part. The way she delivers it.
Oh
It's
my
it's the
gosh.
way
I
she
think it
says
makes it
it.
crazy because she's saying it like really airy and it's like,
I know. That's how she is.
yeah.
And then I'll do one more. I'll do some from Juno, which I really
Okay.
like.
What?
I know, it's so funny. And then I'm just gonna go to the
That's a good
part.
one.
I'm gonna go to the part at the end where she's like, okay, this part. And then they'll be done with these.
Yeah, you are. You
I
are.
love it. I love it. It's just
Those
I've
are
been
good.
jamming
I'm gonna have
out.
to listen.
All of them are
Yeah.
so good. And there's a couple that are slower, which those are the ones I feel like I don't listen to a ton of slower songs, but they're still really good. So yeah.
Well,
Sabrina
those are good.
Carpentini's new album. Love it. All right. So that was our little pop culture update. And so now we're just going to go into some questions. Mallory has not read any of these questions. So
Nope.
it's
I'm
going to
very
be
unprepared for this one, so it's gonna be a surprise for
okay. And I
all of
looked at them, but
us.
it's been a few days. So, what's the weirdest coincidence that has ever happened to you?
Oh, this is a hard one.
I can let you think
Do you
on it.
have one? Yeah.
I have like two examples. I don't know if it's like, I guess it would be a coincidence, but they're just like, I don't know. I maybe goes into like the invisible string theory a little bit and stuff, but you know of this.
Mm-hmm.
I have two situations and they both involve concerts of all things. One is at our previous job, we worked with this guy named Dalton. Shout out to Dalton.
Oh,
And
yes.
I
Okay.
actually just talked to him a couple weeks ago, so I'll have to tell him we mentioned him on here. He is a lot younger than me, like by 6 or 7 years. So back in 2018, was not working at this job. He would have been like 15, so he definitely wasn't working anywhere.
Yeah.
We both were at a concert in Kansas City seeing 21 Pilots. He was there and probably literally standing next to me, kid you not. He had to have been that close. Never knew. All these years later, 5, 6 years go by. I'm now at my previous job and I was like, yeah, I went and saw them in concert. He's like, oh yeah, me too. And I'm just showing him videos and pictures. He's like, oh my gosh. He goes, I have something from like the literal same angle. And I'll have to put the picture in here because I have our phone side by side of this. And literally it is the exact same. And you can see the same person in their like what band that's on their arm in both of our things. And I'm like, how crazy all these years later, we happen to be talking about this. We happen to notice this exact video picture I'm showing you. Like that was pretty crazy. And
That
then the
is
other
really
one,
crazy.
the other ones when I went to Texas to a concert seeing Bowling for Soup, and me and my friends are there, and we like kept bumping into these girls, and we're like, well, we may as well talk. And she keeps saying that she works for this marketing guy, and we dealt with this marketing guy who would come in a couple times a year to like put on this event. And he didn't have very many employees, by the way, under him. He had like a couple. And she just kept saying things that sounded familiar. And I'm like, do you know this guy? And I said his name. She goes, that's my boss. And I was like, we both started singing like the song, his little theme song. And all of our friends and people we were with were like, what is going on? And she started being in our call. She even came to like the next one. I'm like, those were like probably two of just like the craziest things. Like, I don't know if that would be coincidence, but like wild things that have happened to me.
I think that one is the craziest because this guy is so niche. Like his job
Yeah.
is so niche. Like radio sales guy, like I don't even know how to describe how niche this is. And the fact that you went like what, 6 hours away and
Yeah.
met an
At the
employee when
same time.
yeah, when that was probably his one employee. Like
Yeah, he had like 2
literally.
or 3 under him. That's it.
Yeah.
She was like one of 2 or 3. And it makes me be like, maybe I need to be going to more concerts because like I could be meeting
Right.
like you just 2 times.
Right,
that
both of those
happened.
happen at a concert. Yeah, that is so true.
Dahl and I didn't meet at the concert, but we like realized we were at this concert together. And I'm like, maybe it really
Right.
does kind of bring people together and like similar interests. Like if you're into this type of
Right.
career, like you would run into people that align with that, obviously in both of those cases. But that was the craziest things that have ever happened. I love telling those stories because it's so funny to me.
Right. I feel like if I think about it in the way that you said, like, invisible string theory, I think that we are the craziest coincidence that's ever happened to me. Like we're so similar.
Yes, that is
Our
true.
birthdays, yeah, our birthdays are so similar. We both drive Kias.
Your
We
middle
had the
name is
same.
my name.
Yes, where my middle name is her first name. Like I live in your ex's house. I literally like was showing you this house on Zillow, and I was
I've
like,
been there.
you're like, wait a second.
I
Like I think,
recognize that flag.
yeah, I think that we're the craziest coincidence for me,
That is pretty
honestly.
crazy. Or yeah, our birthdays days apart. And I
Yeah,
know there's more. Like we've thought of
yeah,
like random things. That's a good one. That's why we have this
yeah.
podcast because we're
It
like
is.
very similar. Gosh, life, like it's a good thing I'm not like on an edible because I'd be like really like, oh my God, what are we doing here right now?
This is like mind
Oh,
fuck stuff.
mind blown. Getting deep here. The second question is, what's the most unusual place you've ever fallen asleep? And this one I only added because I actually have a story behind this. I guess when I was really little, like 4 years old, I was sleeping on top of a table and at my house, and my
Hmm.
brothers and sister were like making a fort around me, and my dad was there on the computer like not paying attention to the situation, and they were using like 2x4s, everything to put things around me, and it fell on my head, and they're pretty sure it knocked
Oh,
me out, and my dad was just right there, like not aware of the situation. It's literally right there. And I just remember them being so scared. And I'm like, you guys should have said something to someone. That could have been bad, but
the fact
yeah.
that you made it out of your childhood is amazing. Like, didn't you walk out of the door and like nobody knew where you were for hours when you were like 3?
Yeah, I like left the house and there was like nobody around like at that time because we were so like in the country and there was no neighbors and people found me. That's the thing. My family didn't notice I was gone. My mom was at work. My dad, my 2 brothers, and my sister were at the house and nobody noticed I left. And that just shows, I really do think it's why I'm like such an independent person. I obviously was independent at a young age because like my older siblings were like off in their own la la land apparently. And
Right.
this guy and his daughter found me and he goes, hey, stay with her because I don't want to look like I'm taking a kid. And he went to the first house. Was like, are you guys
Right.
like have a missing child? And they looked around. They're like, oh crap. So then they had to explain this to my mother.
Oh, I'd be
Like, we lost
pissed.
Danielle today. My mom like wrote a book. My mom wrote a little like children's story about it. And my sister, which I was actually thinking about the other day, because my sister had it like made into an actual book. And I'm pretty sure we were supposed to get copies of it. So I need to ask her about that because I
I
would
need to
love
read
to
it.
read it. It's so, she made it so cute. Like me and the farm animals and they're trying to find me or something. I don't know. It's really cute, but I could go on. And then it's like, if it was this day and age, like I probably would have got taken away from my
You
family.
would. You would have. Honestly, I'm surprised you made it out of your childhood, honestly.
I know. I know. I think it's the reason I am the way that I am. But what about you? Have you ever fallen asleep anywhere unusual?
I haven't. I always go to sleep in my bed at night or a bed at night, so
Like
I
as a
really don't
kid,
think
like did you do
I
sleepovers and stuff? I think one time at my grandma's we like slept in the kitchen on the floor. Like, it'd be really fun if we slept on the kitchen floor. Like stupid
I
stuff.
I have always slept in a bed, even at sleepovers. Like sometimes my friends and I would make a pallet in their living room because there was too many of us to fit in a bed.
Yeah.
But I've never had like just fallen asleep in a crazy place. I'm
Yeah.
normally in a bed under some covers.
Well, that's good. It's better
It's
than being,
normal.
better than sleeping on a table randomly and getting hit by a 2x4 in your head. So honestly, why was I on the table? That's a great
Yeah.
question. Um, what's the most memorable costume you ever worn and what was the occasion? So I put this one on here because I don't even think this is that memorable, but I get so much attention on dating apps about this is the picture. Like this is the like probably number one picture. I was Miss Frizzle last October. It was like the easiest costume. I got it off
Yeah.
Amazon for like maybe 30 or 40 bucks. It was a dress with a little bust bag that had a little lizard in it. And I just like threw my hair in like a thing and like just that's all I did. I will post that. People will be like, Miss Frizzle, that's so cool. And I don't know if it just reminds people of their childhoods, but I get so
Yeah.
much attention on that one. I feel like I've had more memorable, but that's the one people talk about.
I think that one is such a nostalgic one, and
Yeah.
it's also one that you don't see a lot. Like, I thought that was so cute and clever, and I think that when people see it, they're like, oh my God, like that just unlocked a childhood memory out of my
Yeah.
brain.
When I'm thinking about doing this year, which I don't know if I want to say all this stuff, but like I think about being Dorothy because I'm like that would be
That
easy and cute, and I
that would
have
be
red
easy.
hair. But then I went to Spirit Halloween a few weeks ago, and they had like a Fiona from Shrek. I'm like that could be fun
Oh,
too.
that would be
That
funny.
could be
I feel like
fun.
Shrek is so in right now.
It is in right now. I know. I was a Shrek kid. I was obsessed with Shrek too, specifically. I loved it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what
I
about
don't know
you?
what.
You're a
I'm
Halloween person, so surely.
I am, and I was a witch for like most of my childhood Halloweens. I can't think of
I did that
anything.
too.
Yeah,
I
see,
was like
there you
every year
go.
I was like I have to be a witch this year. It's like why I don't know why I didn't want to do anything different.
Yeah, Benny's being the same with a firefighter. So his first Halloween, he was a fire truck, and his second Halloween, he was a firefighter. And his third, wait, how many Halloweens has?
Didn't you and Tanner and him do like a jail thing or something?
Oh, that was his first Halloween. Okay, so when he couldn't decide what he wanted to be, we were all prisoners. And
So that's
he,
kind of a
yes,
memorable.
yes, that one. And then the next one is when he was a fire truck because he wanted to be a fire truck. And then the one after that, he was a police officer because I waited last minute to get them Halloween costumes literally the day of Halloween. And that was the only one that was in his size. So prisoner, fire truck, police officer.
He's been all of
Last
them.
year, last year he was a firefighter, and this year he wants to be a firefighter again. So we'll see if he changes his mind because I don't want to do the same costume again. But then I think about how I was a witch all the time. But
Yeah, it's fair.
I think the craziest one, wait, what was the original question? The
Yeah, what's the
craziest?
like the most memorable one you've worn?
Most memorable. I don't
And
know
what
if
was
this
the
one was,
occasion?
I don't think this was necessarily memorable. I've only ever worn costumes for like Halloween or like school plays,
Yeah.
but there was one Halloween when I was in high school. I think I was a freshman, and I didn't get a costume, but like me and my friend were like, let's just go like trick or treat. So I was like, let's do the classic cut holes in a sheet and be a ghost. But the closest thing I had to a white sheet was it was white and it had like peace signs and like hearts. So I was like, I used that and I literally just cut out eyes and I went to people's houses and they were like, Mallory? Like, is that you? It's
You're
like,
like
yes, yes,
a
it is.
you're like a hippie bubbly ghost.
Yeah. I'll have to like insert picture of the sheet because we still have it. Haven uses the fitted sheet on her bed, so
That's
I'll have
cute.
to insert it so you could realize like how ridiculous it was that I used that as like a ghost costume because it was crazy.
You
But
know, it's all about creativity,
yeah.
for sure. Um, what's the funniest nickname you've ever had or given to someone? I have like 100 nicknames. I don't know why I have so many in my life. Like my dad calls me Monkey. My mom's called me Grandma Dan, Bubble, Buble, Bubblicious. Um, then my more popular one is Danny McCuckoo, and it used to be like turn into Danny McCoca-Cola, Danny Macaulay Culkin, just like anything that worked with it. But I usually just get Danny McCuckoo. But I've had a lot of nicknames over the
You
years.
have. I have only had like a few. My mainly it's like people call me like Mal or Mal Mal or Mal Pal. That was a popular one when I was in like middle school, high school. And then my pedophile cheerleading coach when I was a kid would call me Mousy Wowsy. So I'd say that's probably the weirdest one.
Mousy
Who
wowsy.
that must have tickled something in his pedophile brain, but um but the other part was like craziest nickname that you given anybody.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like so my dog, I wanted a boy dog because I wanted to name the boy dog Bernie because I got it when I was in college and I was like heavily pounding Burnett's vodka. So I was like, oh my God, Bernie would be such a cute name for a dog. But she was a girl. So we're like, well, Bernice, but like that's an ugly dog name. So her name is Hazel Bernice. And then for some reason we just started calling her Slim Jim. So her full name is Hazel Bernice Slim Jim Merriman Stout. And we also call her Tooties and Toodles. So that's pretty crazy. And then I feel like my son, I feel like we had some crazy nicknames for him because I hated saying his first name for the longest time because people hated it. And so it made me really uncomfortable to say it. And so I will call him Dookie because his poops stank really bad. So we called him Dookie for the longest time and people are like, Mallory, like you cannot like be calling your kid like Dookie. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you
So
want.
yeah, so it kind of morphed into Duke, and then now we just call him his name, which is Benny. So it's good that we've moved on to calling him his real name. We're after 4 years, we're comfortable with saying that first name
Right.
again.
I don't know nicknames I've given to people. I'm sure I have, but they're nothing that's crazy. It's probably just a play on their actual names somehow.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
actually like had this thing because like a lot of guys I know go by like shortened versions of their name, and I like calling people their full names. And it kind of
yeah.
started because in 2015 when I was 2015 early 2016 when I was working at Walmart, they like changed the badges at Walmart because like you used to like they actually would put the stickers on the badge. Well, Walmart like
Mm-hmm.
sent in like all new professional already printed on, and it went
Um,
automatically off of what was in the system, like birth names. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
everybody's full names came on. And so I started calling like Matthew for,
yeah,
and then like
yeah,
Nicholas for Nick. And so like I started like
yeah.
just calling people's full names off that because I just thought it was like the funniest thing. Like some guy was named, we called him KJ, Kenneth. Everyone went by Kenneth, but so that kind of started that. And then I just like enjoy like if people go by short names to call them that. But other than that, which is kind of like a nickname in and of themselves, but other than that, I don't really have nicknames for people other than my cat. Like I sing song different things to her, but yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see here. Maybe one or two more questions since we
yeah,
have quite a bit of time here.
yeah.
Let's see here. I guess we could just do favorite songs right now. Mine, obviously, Sabrina Carpenter's new album, duh. Everything on that. And then there's a couple other songs I've been listening to. One's called Die For Me by Chase Atlantic. I really like Chase Atlantic. And then there's a song called Strawberry Skies by Kid Travis, which I don't know any other songs by him, but I got that on like a chill mix. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a vibe. So those are like my ones I've been listening to. What about you?
Yeah, I've been kind of on an interesting song kick lately because I'm kind of sick of all the songs that I've been listening to. So I've been on a real Zach Brown. What's his name?
Zach Bryan, the new guy that's been popular,
Yeah,
he's got really
okay.
relevant. Okay.
I was right the first time. Okay. Zach Bryan. Yeah, I've been on a big Zach Bryan kick. I like his songs. A little bit of country. So
Yeah,
I've been
he
listening to that
does,
a
but
lot.
it's like, it kind of reminds me of, I don't want to say like Coetzel,
Folk.
but
It reminds me of like folky
it's like a
country.
darker
Like,
kind of country vibe, and it's very
yeah,
in right now,
yeah,
which I like. I like that
yeah.
that type of music's getting popular and bringing in like because like for a long time country was so lame. It was like this bro
Right.
country, trucks and women and whatever. And I'm
Yep.
glad we've shifted.
Yeah. So that's a one that I've been listening to a lot. And then I discovered a new playlist on Spotify that kind of mixes some like hip hoppy songs. So it has some new ones and some throwbacks. And one of the throwbacks that's on there is Erase Me by Kid Cudi. And I was like, oh
Oh
my
yeah,
God. Yeah, I've been listening to that so much. I was like, this is so
I
good.
know it's so
And a
nice to
lot
listen to
of
those.
I know a lot, like Jordan Sparks, I sent you
Yeah,
that
you sent me
TikTok.
that.
Yeah, been listening to some of her old songs now, and I'm like, it's just nice to listen to throwbacks and not new stuff because I don't know, it brings back good memories. So
It
that's what I've been
does.
jamming.
And I'm a big music person, obviously, but like I have been a little I don't know the term. My brain's broken. It's just there's so much music, and there's just your TikTok. While I like it, it's like overwhelming. It's like there's so much music, and so for me, I do tend to listen to like I might find a couple new songs here or there, an album come out I really like, and then I'll just like listen to the same few songs or listen to like throwbacks. But there's just so much music out there that it's like it's kind of overwhelming.
Yeah, agreed.
For sure.
So it's refreshing to listen to some throwbacks.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I've been shuffling these the entire episode. So these are the most shuffled tarot cards
So if you've been
ever.
listening to this podcast and you're shuffling the whole time, she was making this prepared. This has to be accurate.
I've needed something to fidget with this entire time. Okay, so I'm just gonna like run my fingers and you're just gonna tell me to stop.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
this is
let me
funny.
Let me fan this out a little bit more. Okay. Tell me when your brain tingles. Right
that
here?
one, yeah, that one that's sticking out. My leg itched. My leg itched.
Holy shit. That means something. Okay. Okay, buckle up. We got the King of Wands, and it was upright. So it says natural leader, visionary, entrepreneur, big picture leader, overcoming challenges, mature, career focused. This is so us right now. This is so us right now.
I've literally been telling you for days. I'm like, I got my creative juices are flowing. I want to do some side hustle. Like this has been, a lot of people I know are like, I need my resume updated. I'm looking for a new job. Like it's in the air.
It's in the air. It really is. So this is such a fitting card to itch on. That is
wild.
Tarot is real.
Is there like a description with that, or is this a different deck?
It didn't have a description, but I can look at my little book.
King of Wands.
King of Wands, I said?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got the Ace of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Ten of Wands, King of Wands. These are so tiny. The physical and emotional nature to which this card is attributed is dark, ardent, life. I don't think I'm saying these words right. Animated and passionate, noble. He uplifts a flowering wand and wears, like his three correspondents in the remaining suits, what is called a cap of maintenance beneath his crown. He connects with the symbol of the lion, which is emblazoned on the back of his throne. The divinatory meeting. Dark man, friendly, countryman.
I'm not gonna lie, this is all going way over my head right now. I like this original card description.
Everything about this is over my head every time. Okay, so divinatory meaning dark man, friendly, countryman, generally married, honest, and consensuous. Reversed, good but severe. I don't know those last words. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the original meaning and then not go any deeper because we're not that experienced.
Yeah, we're just gonna go off what the cards say from now on. Well, on this deck. All right. Well, I feel like that was relevant. That one definitely felt relevant to what's going on. So hopefully that resonated with everybody else. If not, scroll on. Take what resonates, leave the rest.
Leave the rest.
Literally.
Right. Yeah, share, please.
This is our special.
We're begging.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Toodles.
Stars like shenanigans, they're out of this world. Lost in with the zodiac like a map, the cosmic tea.